Hello, students. We have started with business services and we saw banking. In that, we saw types, functions, and new models of banking, etc. Then we saw insurance. We understood what is insurance and we saw principles of insurance. Then we saw life insurance and its types. Then marine insurance and its types. In insurance, last is fire insurance. So now what is fire insurance? Fire insurance contract is an agreement whereby the insurer in return for consideration, that means insurer, the company like LIC etc., in return for consideration, in return for premium, undertakes to indemnify means to compensate the insured. Why they are compensating? Against the loss to property due to fire. If there is a fire and there is a damage to the property, then this company, that means the insurer, is ready to compensate you in return of consideration. So any property which is subject to damage by fire can be insured against fire insurance. The loss due to fire, lightning and explosion is also covered by fire insurance. So you understood. Fire insurance policy provide payment for the loss of use of the property as a result of fire. Now we are going to see types of fire insurance policy. First is valued policy. In this policy, the value of the subject matter is agreed upon at the time of taking up the policy. So the insurer agrees to pay a predetermined amount if the subject matter is destroyed or damaged by fire. The principle of indemnity is not applicable to this policy. The agreed value may be or more or less than the market value at the time of loss. Policies are generally issued for goods or property whose value cannot be determined after their loss or damaged. For example, art, sculptures, jewelries, painting. In such case, it is difficult to evaluate the value of the property. So, in such case, the value is pre-agreed. In this case, value of subject matter of insurance is agreed upon. No matter whatever is the market value of the goods, it is pre-decided. The value is pre-decided. In case of such goods where it is difficult to calculate the market value, like artwork, painting, etc. Second is average policy. It is a policy which contain an average clause if the subject matter is not insured as per the exact market value or it is undervalued. Then the insurer is liable to pay that percentage of loss for which it is insured. For example, you know that in your godown, goods are there of rupees 30,000, but you have taken insurance for only 20,000. So, in case of loss, so that means you have taken insurance for just two-thirds of the property. Getting the property is of 30,000, but you have taken insurance 20,000. So, if there is a loss of 20,000, company will not pay you 30,000. They will pay you two-thirds of that. That means they are going to pay 15,000. But if the loss is of 15,000, then what will happen? You have taken insurance policy for 20,000. So are they going to pay you full 15,000? No. In this case also, they are going to pay two-thirds. That means they are going to just pay you 10,000 only. Subject matter is not insured as per the exact market value, then the insurer is liable to pay that percentage of loss which is insured. Third is a specific policy. Now this is a bit different from average policy. Understand this. In case of a specific policy, the property is insured for a definite sum irrespective of market value. If there is a loss, a stated amount will have to be paid to the policy holder. In this policy, the actual value of the subject matter is not considered. See the example. An insurance policy is taken for rupees 50,000 and the value of the property is 80,000. So if the property of worth rupees 40,000 is lost, then insurance will company will pay you full amount. If the loss is up to 50,000 also, then in that case also they will pay you full, because you have taken policy for 50,000, remember. But if the loss is above 50,000, say for example 60,000, then the company will only pay you 50,000. Okay, that means under this policy the insured is not punished for getting a policy for lesser sum. The actual value of the property is not taken into consideration. Fourth is floating policy. This policy can be taken for the goods which are lying at different locations or godowns or warehouses. Since the quantity of goods lying at different locations fluctuate from time to time, it becomes difficult for the owner to take specific policy. So businessmen or traders take fluctuating policy. Such policy is taken for one sum and one premium. This is the benefit, is that if I am a businessman and my business is in Gujarat also, Maharashtra also, and in other states also. So in that case, I don't have to take different policies for different locations, for different godowns. I can take one policy for all the goods lying at different locations. Benefit is that I don't have to remember date of premium for different insurance policy. Secondly, if there is loss, I just have to approach one company. I don't have to go here and there at different locations for the compensation. So floating policy makes the work very easy. Fifth is excess policy. When the value of the goods or the stock fluctuate, then the excess policy may be taken by the insured apart from normal policy. That means he's going to take two policies. One policy for the amount below which the value of the stock does not fall. And secondly, he will take another policy to cover up the excess value by which the price of the goods fluctuate. For example, if the value of the stock ranges between 1 lakh 50,000 to lakh here, then one policy is taken for 1 lakh 50,000, because below which stock is not going to be there. Second, another policy for the excess amount which is 50,000. So he will take two policy. Sixth is reinstatement policy. This is a type of policy where the insurer undertakes to replace the property or goods lost by the fire. He's going to replace it. He's not going to pay compensation, but he's going to replace. In this policy, instead of paying compensation for the property lost by fire, the property is replaced. While paying the compensation, the depreciation amount of policy is not taken into consideration. For example, if you have taken some machinery in the year 2010 and it was worth rupees 1 lakh, and now in 2020 it is lost by fire. Now, after depreciation, value of that machinery may be less than something 10,000 or 15,000, but they are not going to consider this. They are just going to replace this machinery. Now, for this, the rate of premium is higher in reinstatement policy. Seventh is comprehensive policy. A policy may be taken up to cover up all the type of risk, including fire. A policy may be issued to cover the risk like fire, explosion, lightning, riots, labor disturbance, etc. So, apart from fire, the insured can include other risk also. In the policy, he can include other risk also. Eighth is consequential loss policy. The fire insurance is originally purchased to indemnify the material loss only. The intangible interest was not indemnified. मतलब अगर आग लग जाती है तो आग के बाद जो स्टॉक का नुकसान होता है वो तो होता ही है, बट उसके बाद जो आगे भी तो नुकसान है उसका, फैक्ट्री बंद हो रही है, टेम्परेरी बंद हो जाएगी, प्रोडक्शन रुक जाएगा, तो वो जो लॉस है उसको भी कवर अप करता है कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल लॉस. Consequential loss policy include the loss of tangible and intangible properties. This policy provide an indemnity to the insured for the loss of net profit payment of standing charges, and expenditure in respect of increased cost of working. Fire may dislocate the work in the factory. Production may go down while the fixed expenses continue at the same rate. Correct? Maybe because of the fire, factory is down, production is not happening, but fixed expenses are there. You have to pay rent, you have to pay electricity bill, that is there. So a policy may be taken up to cover up the consequential loss or loss of profit also. The loss of profit is calculated on the basis of loss of sales. A separate policy may be taken up for standing charges also. Ninth is sprinkler leakage policy. Sprinkler leakage policy cover damage to the property caused by the automatic sprinkler system that has leaked or discharged water accidentally rather than in response to fire. बिना आग ही नहीं लगी और लीकेज हो गया, स्प्रिंकलर जो सिस्टम था आपका, आग बुझाने वाला जो सिस्टम था, जो पाइप से, वो ऑटोमेटिक लीक हो गए, ठीक है, बिना फायर के और बिना स्मोक के। तो इस केस में भी आपका जो अगर डैमेज हो रहा है, नुकसान हो रहा है, तो वो क्या करेगी, कंपनी कंपनसेट करेगी। However, the discharge or leakage of water due to heat caused by fire, repair or alteration of building, earthquake, war, explosions are not covered under this policy. अगर ऑटोमेटिकली लीक हो गया तो वो पे करेगी। अगर फायर हीट की वजह से अचानक जो स्प्रिंकलर ऑन हो गया या फिर बिल्डिंग में रिपेयर की वजह से ऑन हो गया, अर्थक्वेक, वॉर, एक्सप्लोजन्स की वजह से, तो इस केस में कंपनी आपको कुछ भी पे नहीं करेगी।